Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. Today topic is about sampling design. Okay, when you do research, it is very important to determine sampling technique to select your sample. Sampling is like cooking a curry. Okay, you pernah masak curry tak? Kalau tak pernah masak curry, at least pernah tolong mak lah masak curry. Ataupun mak minta tolong rasa curry sedap ke tak sedap. Okay. Biasa bila kita masak kari, satu periuk besar tu, okay, kita nak tahu kari tu sedap ke tak sedap, kita rasa sikit lah, betul tak? Kita tak makan satu periuk kari tu and then kita kata, oh sedap. Okay, all are tasty. And then kita masak balik semula satu periuk. No, okay, what we do is, we take a spoon of curry, okay, and then kita rasa lah, okay, whether is it tasty or not, betul tak? Actually, the process of taking a spoon of curry, okay, from a pot of curry, that is a sampling. Okay, sebab tu bila kita buat sampling, okay, we must make sure that the sample that we choose are random. Okay, kenapa? Kita tak nak lah bila kita rasa kari tu, kita rasa yang atas je. Ataupun kita rasa yang bawah je. Ataupun kari yang tak dikacau lagi. Okay, because if we do that, okay, the curry that we taste does not represent the true population. Ataupun untuk tidak mewakili satu periuk tu lah. Okay, so therefore, when you want to taste, okay, the curry, so kita ambil at random. Okay. And then, ingat lagi syarat sampling. Okay, it must be sufficient. Sufficient in this case, sampel yang kita ambil tu kena cukup lah. Okay. Ada setengah orang dia rasa kari sedap ke tak sedap, dia celup dengan jari je. Okay, is it sufficient or not? Okay. Kadang-kadang bila celup tu entah dia rasa minyak je. Okay. So, therefore, when you want to select sample, it must be sufficient. Sufficient to infer about the population. Okay. And then it must be consistent. Consistent maksudnya bila rasa dekat atas sama sedap dengan rasa dekat bawah. Sama sedap rasa dengan dekat tepi. It must be consistent. Sama juga bila you ambil sampel dekat mana-mana pun you should get the same result. But in condition that the target population are the same. Okay? Can you understand about the sampling? Why we need to do sampling? Okay, in reality, okay, why we need to do sampling? Okay, because population is dynamic. Okay, the component of population could change over time. Sama jugalah macam you masak kari tadi kan. Okay, it's a dynamic. Kadang bila you masak awal, rasanya tak sama dengan you masak 50 minit. Okay, dia sentiasa berubah. And then, cost studying the entire population could be very high. Okay. So, kalau kata you nak select sample, katakanlah you nak study about the UiTM student, kalau you ambil population, is very impossible. Okay. Dia punya cost lah, very high. And then, contacting whole population is time consuming. Okay. So, biasanya kita takkan ambil population lah. We only choose sample. Kalau ada population pun, biasanya Department of Statistics yang akan buat lah. They will collect the information, okay, for the whole population, which is called as banci or census. Okay, census is a collecting data for the whole population. Okay, so before we go on the sampling technique, okay, let me introduce, not really introduce lah, okay, remind some basic terminology in a sampling. Actually, you dah belajar dalam sampling technique, betul tak? Okay. The first part is the population, element and population size. So what is the population? Population is the entire group of people, events or objects of interest that researcher want to investigate. Okay, for example, let's say you want to study about factors of depression among student, among UiTM student. Okay, at campus Seremban. Okay, so the population will be the all student, okay, of your ITM student at campus Seremban. Okay, element, each member of population. Okay, setiap satu unit tu is the element. And then population size is the total number of element in the population. Contohnya, kalau kata dekat dalam UiTM ada 5,000 orang student. So that is the population size. Okay. Sample, subject and sample size. Sample is the subset of the population lah. Okay. And then when we mention about the object from the sample, we call it as a subject. Okay. Subject represent each member of the sample. Okay. And then on the other hand, sample size represent the total number of subject in the sample. Okay. So kalau dekat dalam statistik biasanya kita tulis dalam small n. Small n is the sample size. Okay, parameter and statistics. Okay, parameter is the characteristic of the population, while the statistic is the characteristic of sample. Okay, so we use statistic to estimate the parameter. Okay, contoh paling senang lah, kalau you pergi dekat supermarket ataupun supermarket lah senang. Okay, you tengok ada air mineral water, betul tak? Okay, dekat air mineral water tu dia ada label dekat situ 600 ml. Actually the value of 600 ml, that is the parameter. Okay, we believe that all volume of the mineral water is equal to 600 ml. Okay, tapi katakanlah you rasa macam bila you pergi dekat supermarket, you tengok dia punya volume of the mineral water bukannya semua betul-betul tepat 600 ml, betul tak? Okay, tapi dia lebih kurang sama lah, okay, the volume. Okay, kalau you ambil, let's say 10 bottles of mineral water, okay, and then you measure the volume, okay, and then you kira dia punya mean. Okay, let's say bila you kira mean, you dapat nilai dia bukanlah 600 ml tepat-tepat pun, you dapat nilai dia, let's say 600.15 ml for example. Okay, so the value of 600.15 ml, that is represent the statistic. Okay, is a measurement that you obtain from the sample. Okay, parameter is the characteristic of the population yang you dapat daripada population tu lah, macam 600 ml tu. Kita tahu all the mineral water volume dia 600 ml. Okay. And then you also need a sampling frame. Okay, sampling frame is a list of element from the target population. Okay, kalau you punya population, okay, is students, all student from UiTM Seremban 3. So the sampling frame is the list name. Okay, list name provided kena ada nombor metrik, kena ada nombor telefon dia ke, ataupun you kena ada email dia lah kalau you nak hantar email pada dia untuk distribute questionnaire. Okay, so you must have a sampling frame. Okay, so these are some of the sampling technique. Okay, and then saya yakin you dah belajar ni dalam sampling technique. Okay, ini STA 540 ke? Okay, saya pun tak ingat. Okay, so there are two types of sampling, okay, non-probability and the probability. Okay, as a statistics student, okay, you must use a probabilistic sampling. Okay, kenapa kita kena pakai probabilistic sampling? Okay, bila kita pakai probabilistic sampling, then kita boleh pakai hypothesis testing. Baru kita boleh buat hypothesis testing. Tapi kalau our sampling design is not probability, okay, so kita sebenarnya tak boleh buat hypothesis testing. Okay, remember bila kita buat hypothesis testing, especially hypothesis testing that required the data to be normally distributed. Okay, the X, okay, must be a random variable. Okay, maksudnya kita punya sampling design is a probabilistic. Okay, tapi kalau you punya sampling design, okay, are not probabilistic, okay, so you tak boleh buat lah, okay, hypothesis testing. You can only do a descriptive analysis. Okay, and then dia lebih kepada case study lah. kalau you punya sampling design non-probabilistic. Okay, contoh non-probabilistic sampling design, convenience sampling, judgmental sampling, snowball sampling, okay, and a quota sampling. Okay, so saya tak nak go through in detail lah, okay, all these sampling method, okay, sebab you all lagi sepatutnya lebih tahu, okay, about this sampling method, okay. Tapi saya nak highlight on the probability sampling design, okay. Common sampling design, okay, is a simple random sampling. Okay, kenapa simple random sampling? Okay, to do a simple random sampling, okay, you kena ada list of the population. Okay, katakanlah you ada senarai nama 5,000, okay, 5,000 students, okay, of UiTM. Daripada 5,000, okay, you kira sample size, katakan you need 200, okay, and then you choose the student at random. Okay, so you use a simple random sampling. Okay, however, okay, katakanlah you nak buat comparison. Okay, katakanlah you nak buat comparison, compare level of satisfaction. Okay, or you want to compare level of depression. Okay, between student from faculty mathematics and computer science and FSR. Okay, is there any difference or not? Okay, so kalau you nak buat comparison, okay, you tak boleh pakai simple random sampling. Okay, you must choose, okay, stratified or cluster. Okay, apa beza cluster and stratified? Okay, cluster kalau you punya kumpulan, okay, almost the same. Okay, tapi kalau faculty kadang-kadang macam FSKM, bilangan dia tak sama dengan bilangan FSR. Okay, so kalau bilangan dia tak sama, so you can use a stratified. Tapi kalau dia punya percentage dia lebih kurang sama, you boleh guna cluster. So maksudnya you ambil 50% from FSKM, you punya respondent, another 50% from FSR. Okay, kalau ada 3 faculty yang you nak compare, sama jugalah. Okay, FSR, FSPPP dengan FSKM. Okay, FSPPP ni student dia ramai. Okay, so therefore kalau you nak you want to make sure that your analysis represent, okay, the FSPPP, so maksudnya you punya respondent for FSPPP tu kena lagi ramai lah. Okay, sama juga kalau you nak buat compare between male and female contohnya. Okay, so you boleh using stratified. Okay, dekat dalam UiTM ni ada berapa persen lelaki, okay, ada berapa persen perempuan. Okay, you can do a stratification. Okay, tapi kalau katakan you nak buat comparison, contohlah, okay, you nak select sample dekat satu kawasan apartment katakan. Okay, dalam kawasan apartment tu ada 5 apartment. Okay, daripada 5 apartment, you cuma pilih 3 saja apartment. Okay, so that is cluster. Okay, sebab apartment, 5 apartment tu 5 lebih kurang sama saja sebenarnya bilangan penduduk dia. Okay, so daripada 5 you pilih 3. Okay, so daripada 3 tu, okay, untuk satu apartment you pilih let's say 8 je ke. Okay, so that is a cluster sampling. Okay, you tak pilih semualah. Okay, while systematic sampling sesuai untuk kalau you nak collect data dekat bank, okay, ataupun you nak collect data dekat shopping mall, okay, where you tak ada dia punya sampling frame, okay, you tak ada senarai nama pengunjung, okay, tapi you tahu you ada number of population, okay, you tanya dekat dia punya manager satu hari agak-agak ada berapa pengunjung dekat situ. Okay, so you use the information of the population to get the number of sample size and to conduct a systematic sampling. When we select a sample, okay, you must also consider the level of precision. Okay, precision refers how close the estimate is to the true population characteristic. Okay, so when we do the computation, especially confidence interval, hypothesis testing, we hope that the sample that we select, okay, can represent the true population. Okay, and then the sample selected based on the level of precision. Okay, so therefore when you determine sample size, okay, you must use this formula, so that to ensure that the sample that you select, is sufficient to represent the true population. The precision, or the sample size determination is depend on the variation, which is the standard deviation here, the level of confidence and margin of error. When you do confidence interval, we know that the 95% confidence interval is this formula. So x bar, plus minus z alpha over 2 multiplied by the standard deviation over square root n. So this part is called as the margin of error. So this part will determine how accurate your estimation, your x bar. Actually bila you buat estimation, the longer the confidence, actually sebenarnya tak bagus. We want the estimation to be as close as to the population sample. So to ensure that the interval is not too large, so it depends on this part, the value of z, the level of confidence, the standard deviation and the number of sample size. So actually kalau you tengok dekat sini, as the number of sample size increase, so you punya estimation dia lagi, dia punya length of the interval lagi kecil. Dia sebenarnya macam ni, contohlah, contohnya umur saya katakanlah, you agak-agak umur saya berapa, kita estimate kan. Katakanlah umur saya sekarang, saya katalah when we mention about the estimation, kalau saya kata umur saya antara 20 hingga 60, is it a good estimation or not? Sebenarnya tak bagus tu tak? Sebab 20 sampai 60 tu, it can be many value. Umur saya boleh jadi 25, boleh jadi 30, boleh jadi 40, boleh jadi 60. So bila kita estimate, dia tak bagus. Sebab interval dia terlalu besar. Susah kita nak teka. But if the interval smaller, saya katakan umur saya adalah antara 35 sehingga 45 tahun. So you boleh guess lah antara 35 ke 45 tahun. So actually nak dapatkan interval antara 35 ke 45 ni, is based on this one lah. Based on the margin of error. We have the confidence level. We must have the standard deviation. E is the error. So to compute the mean, to compute the number of sample size, in condition that katakan kita nak kira the confidence interval yang ni, untuk mean kita akan pakai this formula lah. Where z alpha over 2 is the level of confidence, sigma squared is the variation for population. This one you can get from the past research or from the pilot study. And then E is the margin of error. And then kalau for proportion ni, contohnya kalau you buat logistic regression, you punya Y is yes or no. So therefore, to compute the sample size, you pakai this formula lah. Z alpha over 2 level of confidence, and then this one is the variance, for the population. Kita pakai P lah. Kalau you tak tahu P tu berapa, you boleh assume P is equal to 0.5. And then divide by the margin of error, which is E. Divide by error, E. E squared. When we do a sampling, it's common that there will be a sampling error. Sampling error occurs due to the selection of some units and non-selection of other units into the sampel. Okay, kadang-kadang bila kita pilih sampel, ada error, and then ada yang sampel yang kita tak pilih tu sepatutnya masuk dalam kita punya sampel. That can also cause a sampling error. Okay, controllable if the selection is done in random. Okay, sebab tu, okay, as I said, when we do research, okay, we must ensure that the sample that we collect must be at random. Okay, so kalau sampel yang kita ambil tu at random, we can reduce the sampling error. Okay, sampling error reduces as the sample size increases. Okay, so the sample that we collect, okay, must be sufficient. Okay, must be sufficiently large. Okay, to reduce the sampling error. Okay, kalau sampel kita kecil, okay, and then ada bacaan kita yang tak konsisten, okay, there's possibility that the estimation also will not be, the estimation will be incorrect. Okay.